Hey, what's up YouTube? Mike from Mass here, Mass Aquariums, and in tonight's video I'm going to talk a little bit about nitrate, specifically nitrate removal. I've gotten a lot of questions and comments in some of my videos. My fish seem to be doing this, my fish seem to be doing that, my nitrates are at 80, my nitrates are at 60, my nitrates are this, but what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? So, first of all, what are nitrates? Nitrates are a byproduct of fish waste, whether it's feces or piss, organic matter decomposition, food waste, plant material breaking down. Nitrates are in everybody's aquarium. Now, what's the fish keeper's goal? In whether it's freshwater or saltwater, is to keep your nitrates to a level that will not harm your fish. Now, there's plenty of, Google it, watch videos, you want your nitrates at no higher than 20 ppm. Some people say no higher than 5 ppm. Well, nitrates are a part of everybody's aquarium, and it's a part of the ecosystem that is part of your aquarium. Whatever levels are acceptable, there is a certain threshold, is to each their own in their own tanks. Now, I personally don't test for nitrates all that often. I just know that I need to do regular maintenance to keep my nitrates to an acceptable level for my fish tank. Now, I run saltwater fish tanks, I run freshwater fish tanks, and I know what kind of regimen I have to do to maintain acceptable nitrate levels. So, what's a great way to keep nitrates at an acceptable level? This is why I shot this video after a water change. A water change. Water changes will remove a lot of nitrates. Now, you don't want to do crazy water changes, and I know I'll get a lot of dislikes or comments about this. People that do, I do 50% water changes every other day. I do 90% water changes once a week. In my experience and from some research I've done, I personally don't think that's the greatest thing for your fish. You are running a closed system that everything needs each other to balance it out. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. I'm sure people are going to dislike that part of it, but I don't think you need to do a shit ton of water changes. In my opinion, water changes are necessary. You need to get some new water in, especially if you have planted tanks, especially if you have reef tanks. New water means new elements for your corals. New water means new minerals for your plants. Now, so one of the best ways to get nitrates to an acceptable level is to do regular water changes. I like to do water changes on a big tank like this every 2 weeks. I do about 25 to 30% water change every 2 weeks to keep my nitrates under control. Another way is to have some plants in your tank. If you have freshwater tanks, plants will consume nitrates. They also make nitrates, but at the same time they do consume some nitrates. Now, nitrates can be bad for your fish, but you don't want to completely wipe out your entire tank by constantly worrying about nitrates and pulling so much water out of your tank that you throw off the cycle, throw off the balance of your tank. Another way I like to control nitrates is making sure your filters are very clean. Now, I run a canister filter. I run hang-on back filters. Now, what you want to do is not go crazy, don't be super crazy about your filters, but every, say, month or 2 months, break those filters down. Get those sponges cleaned out. By any means, don't rinse your media too much, but get your sponges cleaned out. Replace, if you're running carbon, if you're running GFO, if you're running polyfilter pads, filter floss, all that stuff, replace it or clean it good, because that holds a lot of organic matter, which concentrates those nitrates, and that can become a big problem in your tank. Now, The reason why I'm doing this video, besides the fact that I'm probably blowing the shit out of you now if you're still listening, is I've got a lot of questions about my nitrates are out of control. How do I control them? There's your thing. Water changes. Make sure your filters are clean and running properly. And throw some plants in there. Get some plants in your freshwater tank, folks. It is going to help you big time. Don't overstock. I'm a big fan of, that 1 inch per gallon rule. No, I'm a big fan of the opposite of that. You can put as many fish as you want in your tank as long as you have the capability to filter your tank and do the maintenance on your tank. So, that's my spiel. I gotta fill this tank back up, and don't forget to go subscribe to my Aquarium Box. It's a subscription baked, it's not baked, subscription-based service for fish keepers by fish keepers. We're gonna make your boxes. You wanna know why we know you love your boxes? Because we're fish keepers, and we're making those boxes. Hit that link down below, subscribe, and I'm